Chris. I play drums in There For Tomorrow.
What's up, guys? I'm Christian, and I play guitar in the band There For Tomorrow.
Jay, I play bass. Do some backup vocals.
Mike Amile, sing and play guitar, and love life.
Actually, where we are right now is my birthplace, St. Petersburg, Florida, and I lived here till I was about 7 or 8. And I grew up around a lot of retirement homes, so my initial impression of Florida was that it was a lot of old people, and beaches. I spent a lot of time on the beach. Then I moved to Orlando, and it's pretty crazy getting really raised around such a melting pot of a city with so many different diverse cultures, because you're seeing all the tourists come in because of the Disney and Universal, SeaWorld, all the attractions. So I definitely think that played a big influence on me wanting to do something in the entertainment business, and music just fell in my lap.
It was nice. I mean, it's a nice mixture of all different kinds of cultures and age groups. And the age range where I live is tremendous. Like some areas in New York City, you primarily only find mid-20s to 35, and then the next street is the seniors, and they're all dying over there. But there's just a place for everybody in Florida, and in Orlando especially, it's a big old melting pot of different personalities. And I don't know, it's just, I appreciated it. I liked it a lot, despite the heat of summers, which we've all grown into being able to take, at least. I loved growing up in Florida.
I was a cheerleader, actually. I was a cheerleader for 7 years. I did all-star cheerleading. It was nothing like, high school, like pom-poms or anything like that. But yeah, that's what I was currently doing before.
Being a 13-year-old, I mean, but I've been playing guitar since I was 6, so I've been heavily, active in music, and always subconsciously evolving. I wasn't ever, like in that high over there, I wasn't ever really conscious of how I was changing or what I was doing. I was just acting on impulse, and I loved music right away from the start of my life. And growing, that never changed. So my relationship with music is just, it's grown a lot, and what I've done before I was 13 helped me get out all those cobwebs. So then when I found some band members / friends to play with, we just loved it. We loved having that connection and being able to rely on each other. So other than that, I was pretending I could rollerblade, like inline skate, but I was bad at it. I was chubby.
Before the band, well, I've been playing music pretty much ever since I picked up drums when I was 13, non-stop. I'm 21 now, and that's pretty much all I've been doing since I started playing. But before that, I was a big, sports kid. I skateboarded and did the BMXing and played baseball, football. That's actually how I met our lead singer, Micah. Me and him were both on the same Pop Warner football team for our area, so we met through that, and because we didn't go to same schools. So, I guess sports in some way helped us become a band.
Band I was in, I've only been in 2 bands ever, and the first band was obviously before There For Tomorrow. It's the first band I started with some friends from high school. It's mainly because I started playing guitar, and it was kind of just started off as something fun to do, and I knew it was something I wanted to do. Just got together with kids from my high school, and I also used to play a church that I used to attend. I was in the youth group band.
think the first show we ever played, with me, Micah, and Jay at least, was a block party. And it was in my neighborhood, and it was just, we just played cover songs. We literally dragged our gear from my room where we were practicing and like getting used to playing with each other and doing cover songs. And I think we had written like maybe one original song back then. So we did a block party. So that was our first show ever. But we did a lot of stuff at churches, and because they were just so friendly into having, you know, a band as young as we are come in and do shows, because they were really cool about, you know, having the high school kids come in, and you know, it was always, they never really like got into like the whole like preaching thing at the church events, but it was nice of them to let us use their like facilities to put on shows for all the local kids in different high schools to come check it out.
Early on, there was a place that called The Last Wave, which was a really nice, good founded venue right about 20 minutes from where we live. And we would just book shows there, and the promoter who was over there was, it was a part of a church, but we weren't like involved for that specific reason. It was founded by a church. And they had awesome hospitality. They took us in, and we just ended up playing like 6 or 7 shows there. And I think every single show there was just great. Like one show, I think our CD release show had 500 kids for like a band that's 14. That's pretty good.
I don't know. I guess I never really gave a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't feel. I guess I could speak for all of us to say, like, it's like we didn't feel like we were trying to come up in a scene. You know, we got labeled in one, of course, because you start doing something, and people tend to just instantly like, you know, try to label it with something else. I don't think we were really trying to go for that. But we got stuck in it, and I guess I think everywhere kind of has that same thing happen.
I don't really know. Honestly, it's been a while since I feel like we were even included in the Orlando scene, I guess if you would call it, because we've been touring so much the past two years that we're from Orlando. Obviously, it's our hometown, but it's not like we're kind of not even in the local scene anymore, because we've just been touring and gone all the time. That I don't hear of every new band that comes up in Orlando all the time. So that may be true. I'm not really sure.
I don't really necessarily find that Orlando is or was cliquey. That just may be me not paying attention to that, because we always kind of broke barriers with what was happening across the map. So in Florida, you know, we were at hardcore shows growing up and getting hit in the face with steel-toe boots at Strike Anywhere shows, and so we would know that aspect of music and culture, and then we would also, you know, be listening to country.
Not really. I would say for us, like, we started breaking out in a big like high school scene, like through word of mouth, through friends in other high schools, and everyone was like talking about us, and that was, you know, I wouldn't really consider that cliquey within bands. But then, you know, there was this one other band like coming up before we were signed that we played a lot of shows with, and they ended up getting signed to a major label called Between the Trees. And you know, we definitely, us two, had a little clique going on, but I don't think we ever like were, you know, a part of something that was uninviting to other artists to come in. It was just kind of like time and place. Both of us were coming up at the same time, trying to get signed and get records out there and get touring full time. So I think that's why we always just kind of were playing shows together and trying to make the biggest things happen, whether it was at Hard Rock, House of Blues, or the Social in Orlando. But yeah, Orlando's kind of crazy for music. You got like your Creed, like Backstreet Boys, some of them are from there, some of NSYNC are from there, like Mandy Moore, and then you got metal bands like Trivium, and I don't know, Orlando's kind of all over the map, and then one of our first major tours we ever did was with a band called Amberlin. Just kind of like spread out from some of them are from like the Tampa area, some are from Orlando. So. We never really stuck with that. I think we played maybe a total of 3 shows with the name The Kickoff. Not many people know that name, so you're one of the few. But yeah, we called ourselves TKO, not Total Knockout, whatever. But we're called The Kickoff. And that was for like probably like that lasted maybe a month. And getting towards the release date of our first album, our label told us that there was already a band artist on the internet called TKO, and they didn't want it to be confusing, and they just want to have something more original. Thought we should just come up with something that has never been used before, a completely unique name. And we also didn't really like TKO. We didn't think it really represented what we were. It just sounded kind of high school, and we wanted something that was a little more mature for us then, and we're still to this day not tired of There for Tomorrow. We think it represents exactly what we want to do with our career and what we have done with our career. We've been around longer than most bands that are our age, so we've really stuck to it, and we don't like having member changes either. So we've only had 1 member change, and that ever since that happened, we've just been on a different level of focus as There for Tomorrow, how we are.
I think the situation with us and Hopeless has just been nice because they're very conscious of us wanting to be a long-lasting effort. So they understand the developmental years of a band and an artist and a person in general. So signing us early, I think they signed up for that, knowing that it would take some soul searching or something. But some bands get really popular / lucky or / are really good at a young age, and that spurs about a whole bunch of problems when they get famous. But I think Hopeless is just so understanding of having to nurture our career and like letting us be very active. So I think that's my favorite part, is how they understand our band life. It's not just a bunch of Wall Street people running a label.
They don't really. I guess just because they're loyal, they back us, they believe in what we do, and we don't need to jump into anything else right now. I mean, we kind of been dealing with things as they've been coming, and it's going good how it is so far. So why try to expand right now? Just keep what we got going.